Most of us grew up reading and watching the Harry Potter series, and we know the author behind these, J.K. Rowling. But beside this, there is a dark side of a story which only a very few people know about. Before creating the Harry Potter series, J.K. Rowling was clinically depressed. During an interview with a student journalist in 2008, Rowling revealed that she had suicidal thoughts while she was a single mother struggling to get her work published. My mid-20s life circumstances were poor and I really plummeted. She added, "Poverty entails fear and stress and sometimes depression."
Before J.K. Rowling became one of the world's richest women, she led a modest life as a secretary in London. She was 25 years old when her mother died from multiple sclerosis, sending Jo into an emotional tailspin. Desperate to escape the pain, she moved to Portugal, married and gave birth to her first daughter, Jessica. But the marriage was, in Jo's words, short and catastrophic. She packed up her daughter, moved to Scotland, where she hit a new low. Jo was clinically depressed and struggling to survive on welfare.
She was newly divorced, single mother living on benefits in Edinburgh at that time, while also struggling with depression. Rowling describes how she felt as if she had hit rock bottom and found herself with suicidal thoughts.
The single biggest thing that money gave me, and obviously I came from a place where I was a single mother, and it really was hand to mouth at one point. Mm-hmm. It was as literally as poor as you can get in Britain without being homeless at one point. If you've ever been there, you will never, ever take for granted that you don't need to worry.
Rowling was first inspired to write the world of Harry Potter on a train in 1990. She completed the first manuscript in 1995 and was initially rejected by 12 publishing companies. However, her manuscript for the first book of the 7-book series, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, was eventually picked up by Bloomsbury Publishing Company and was officially published in 1997. She finished the first 2 books while she was on the welfare benefits. Later, the 3rd book was inspired by her mental illness.
Depression clinical depression is a terrible place to be. Terrible place to be.
So you became depressed after your mother died?
Yes, but I think it was a kind of delayed. I think I had tendencies towards depression from quite young. Mm-hmm. It became really acute when I was sort of 25 to 28. Was a dark time. Mm-hmm. It's that absence of feeling, and it's even the absence of hope that you can feel better. Mm-hmm. And it's so difficult to describe to someone who's never been there. Mm-hmm. But because it's not sadness. I know sadness. Sadness is not a bad thing, to cry and to feel. But it's that cold absence of feeling, that really hollowed out feeling. That's what the Dementors are. Mm-hmm.
The story of Harry Potter is best known by the world, but the story behind his creation has a very practical lesson. Rowling reached a turning point in her struggle with depression after the vision of her Harry Potter storyline became clearer. Writing became a way for Rowling to cope with her depression, and her books have since sold over 500 million copies, making her the 9th best-selling fiction author of all time.
Why do I talk about the benefits of failure? Simply because failure meant a stripping away of the inessential. I stopped pretending to myself that I was anything other than what I was, and began to direct all my energy into finishing the only work that mattered to me. I was set free because my greatest fear had been realized, and I was still alive, and I still had a daughter whom I adored, and I had an old typewriter and a big idea. And so rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all.
Depression, the most common word we have heard in 2020. A low, sad state that makes you feel that your thoughts have taken control over you. It doesn't matter whether your eyes are open or closed. Existentially, you can see complete darkness. It affects everything you do. But to overcome this wretchedness, you have more power than you think.
Well, I definitely know that love is the most powerful thing of all. And I remember thinking that, I'm about to make myself cry, but I remember thinking that when 9/11 happened. Because those last phone calls were all about the last thing, knowingly that I'm going to say on this earth, is I love you. What's more powerful than that? What's more proof than that? Beyond fear, beyond death.
We hope you liked this video. For more videos on mental health awareness and learning, visit us at healthyminds.world and don't forget to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the icon below.